Lujack, Larry Lujack, Larry Lujack, Larry Lujack, super jock.
To come down here. I was real disappointed. I wanted to see the animal stories. When do you do it?
Oh, we tape it at usually about 1:30 or so, because we used to do it live at 9:45 when Tommy was going on the air at 10 o'clock. But now it doesn't go on until 2:30. Yeah, it's too early for him to come in.
Right. You in a lot of pain?
That's not too bad if I don't move it a lot.
The rumor has it you're going to play basketball this Saturday.
That's
night.
right.
Gotta come hell or high water. Oh, well, that's admirable.
That feels better.
A real team man. Well, I suppose...
No, just a ball hog. Ball hog who likes to shoot. Speak to me.
March 28th is the...
Want to kiss my foot and make it better? March 28th.
Sunday, March 28th, they're showing that show.
One show.
Kids show.
Nine o'clock Sunday morning. Good. Nobody will see it. Oh, yeah, okay, that's right. After I get back from vacation, unfortunately, I, being the masochist that I am, will have to tune in and see how bad it is.
They said it was wonderful.
Yeah, sure. One thing that I'm really worried about is that makeup job she did on me. It seemed like she kind of OD'd on the lipstick. Do I look kind of faggy in that, or what?
No.
Okay.
I would have noticed that.
Okay. Okay, Linda. Well, as I watch it, I know that I can watch with confidence, knowing that you were there as my designated hitter, making sure that,
Yes.
the thing was okay. So, and that you got all the bad stuff edited out, because you are the best in the country.
Thank you.
You've humbled
Are you in a bad mood today?
I'm always in a bad mood.
Oh, what is it today?
The same thing it is every day.
What's that? This is a reporter here, so watch what you say.
Foolish.
That is Linda Waldron, who is our promotion director and the best in the nation.
Best in the nation.
As a matter of fact,
Who is always in a bad mood.
what day's paper is that?
It's today. You didn't read it?
I'm just trying to determine whether it's no mine's here. You can have it if you want. I don't know whose it is.
Thanks.
Okay, Dan.
Okay, man.
Make them all multiple choice.
Okay. Do you want to answer questions? Yes or no? You probably don't want to. You're probably sick of these interviews, right? And the
I
same
just
old
have
stupid questions.
I just have a hunch that you're going to come up with some questions I've never heard before.
You think so? Okay, well, that's a good hunch. I don't want to bore you with the same questions. Okay, well, I suppose we should talk about animal stories. That's probably a good thing to start off with.
Sure.
Right? Okay. How much controversy have you stirred up? Have you ever stirred up any controversy with animal stories? It seems relatively harmless, but...
We get a little heat once in a while. Not a lot, but we get a little heat on some of the stuff that we do that is perceived by some in Radioland to be a little too far over the border when it comes to poor taste. A little too sicko, but not a lot really. We get really very little static on it.
From management, probably can't get anything from the public, right?
Yeah, we don't really get much from either. Occasionally, there will be some isolated instance where maybe we do go a little too far with something, but it's very rare.
Okay. What's the most disgusting intermingling of the species photos you've ever gotten?
Well, hell, I'll let you pick one out. I just happen to have. We just recently started saving these. If we had some in the beginning, at the first we weren't saving them, and I wish we would have, because some of them
must have been zingers.
We're really, God, isn't that a disgusting picture there? Somebody hit a cat that's still suspended.
Well,
in front of us.
you're a well-known celebrity cat hater. That probably can't bother you.
Yeah. This one not a hustler, this rabbit, make it with a chicken is pretty gross. Oh, do you need by, miss?
I don't want to finish it, but
No, it's okay.
I'm about to
That's
get into
okay.
this.
Let's see.
And this is your only portfolio so far? Oh,
Yeah, because we must have thrown away hundreds before we started saving them. Here's a shot you don't see too often. Seal jerking off. Little poodle making it with
As a cat.
cat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you suppose people get these pictures from? How do
This
they
has
find
nothing
them?
to do with animals here.
I mean, how often do these come in every day?
Yeah, we usually now there's a real interesting intermingling of the species there, you see.
That is.
I personally find this disgusting.
Unless you keep it anyway. Why do we have cars?
You don't often see this, too.
Is
A
that a
young
bull and a
bull there
horse?
making it with a horse, yeah.
That is pretty unusual.
Artificial
I
inseminator.
don't
work.
really understand. Oh, those are two
Oh,
frogs.
this is fun because you see
Cigarette end.
this frog on top is mating with this frog, but this frog, the reason he was able to stick that cigarette in it is because this frog is dead, but the frog on top doesn't know it. See? This is Wendy Williams.
Oh, that's an exciting personality.
Elephant sticking its trunk up some other elephant's ass. Gross
Very
there.
colorful pictures. Boy, I wonder how people find these.
This is,
Case of mistaken identity.
yeah, I guess their cat does this all the time with his stuffed animal. Isn't that funny? It looks like that groundhog is giving the finger, but it's actually one of these little weeds sticking out there. Elephant making it with a tire. Oh.
Well, all this time I thought you were kidding. I didn't think you really got these pictures.
No, we really do. And some of them,
They're so bad.
yeah, we don't have them anymore.
From some founder. To your office.
No, this is just, this is really not an office. It's just all the jocks live here.
So how old is Animal Stories? I mean,
Animal Stories is really a lot older than everybody thinks. Originally, I started it when I first started doing mornings at WLS way back in 19... Let's see, I came to Chicago in '67. I worked at CFL for about 4 months on an all-night gig, and then I came over here and I did afternoons for about a year and a half. And then they switched me to mornings, so Animal Stories really started, I think, in about late 1969. And the reason it started was, at that time, the FCC required that you devote X amount of broadcast time each week to religious programming, farm programming, etc., and so forth. And so, at that time, WLS had on between 5 and 5:30 in the morning this 5-minute farm show, which, prior to my doing mornings, had always been handled with some guy just, reading beef and hog prices from the Joliet stockyards in Omaha and boring stuff like that, or news from the Department of Agriculture. But then I started doing it, and I decided that was really boring, so I started, I got a bunch of freebie subscriptions to various farm magazines and farm newspapers. And I would look through them and I would find these real weird stories that involve farm animals. With some elderly farm widow being trampled to death by some big Holstein bull or something like that. And And so I started doing 5 minutes worth of that every morning. And my gosh,
Public
I
response.
started getting phone calls requesting that I make the farm show longer, which was really weird. I'm doing this stupid farm show at 5 o'clock in the morning, and suddenly it's the most popular thing on the show, and people actually want it to be longer. I mean, it's supposedly public service. So that's how it originally started, and now with deregulation by the commission, of course, we don't have to do any farm programming.
Well, didn't you used to do the stock exchange reports in the morning with the little piggies and the little those little things?
Yeah.
God, how long ago was that?
A long time.
I must have been just a little kid.
Yeah.
I sort of remember that.
Yeah, I would have sound effects with all the, like when some semi tipped over on the expressway and killed 40 hogs. I'd have these squealing hogs in the background and stuff. So then I did it for several years, and then when I went over to CFL, I did it for a while. Then I just got tired of it, and so I stopped doing it for several years. And then I decided to start doing it again one morning. Actually, Tommy got in on it by accident. He followed me on the air, and the first morning that I was going to do it, he just happened to be in the control room there, and he sat down, and he was, making faces at me and laughing and giggling. And so, it worked out pretty good, so we just stuck with it.
You've got a great repertoire on the radio, you and Tommy. I don't know, is that pretty natural?
Yeah, we just work well together. It's not something that you could do with just anybody. I mean, there has to be the right chemistry there, and Tommy and I work pretty good together, so it works out pretty good. I don't know how long it's going to go on. It gets to be a struggle to come up with fresh stuff all the time. After a while, it seems like, there are certain categories of stories we don't even do anymore because we've done them so often about, some deer crashing through a glass patio door out in the suburbs. It happens all the time. And, escaped pythons. How many escaped python stories do you hear? How many big Doberman pinscher rips up some little kid? It's, we get a lot of mail. Sometimes we get 50 to 100 letters a day of people clipping stuff out of newspapers, and the best stuff comes from these little bitty rural newspapers in some little bitty farm town where they maybe publish once a week or something.
Wasn't it an amazing one, the Grace or whatever her name was?
Yeah, Wakarusa, Indiana.
Yeah, Wakarusa.
Because hell, they don't have any news, to print, so they have to come up with something. So they print some pretty bizarre stuff, but it gets a little tougher every day. So I don't know how long, we're going to be able to go. We may bag it for a few years and start it up again someday. I don't know.
Do you have a favorite animal story?
I can't remember what they are.
Are all your favorite ones on there?
No, some of them they wouldn't let us put on because they thought they weren't
Poor taste.
very poor taste or semi-dirty or whatever. There's a couple of ones that I really like on the album. That contented Linda Grace. I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah,
This
that was a hysterical thing.
Holstein heifer winning this Best in the World award and then dropping dead the next day.
I like your dead dog in the dashboard.
Yeah, I was going to say that one too. The dog on the dashboard. I like that one.
How's it doing?
Real good, real good. The last I'd heard, and this was like in January. It had sold 50,000. That was before we even went on the mail order thing. So I really have no idea how many it sold now.
And all the money is going to charity. All the profits are
Yeah, well, not all the money. The WLS share of the profit, which amounts to about $1.50 an album. Of course, the distributor gets a cut, and the retail, the store, they get a cut too. But our share goes to the thing. So we should be able to present them with a quite sizable check here one of these days as soon as I get onto the mail order thing.
How'd this album come about? I mean, weren't you talking about this for a long time?
Yeah, we originally wanted to get it out last year. Well, this is 1982. We originally wanted to get it out in 1980, but and we had it all put together. But then management listened to it, and they X'd out about half of the cuts because they thought they were, too dirty or too poor taste. So then we had to start all over again.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Thank you.
How come? Why isn't your interview with Clyde on there?
Clyde.
Isn't Clyde your anything from?
Oh. That was one of those things that seemed like a good idea at the time, and then you get this stupid monkey up there, and he can't even, do anything really. I mean, he wouldn't make any noise. It was really kind of a nothing show that day.
Maybe he was more intelligent than some of the other interviewers.
Yeah. Plus, he smelled bad.
Doesn't anybody else around here smell bad? Are you going to have any other celebrity animals on your?
No, animals. We get all the time. People want to, they got a parrot that talks, or they think they have a dog that can sing, and all that kind of stuff. But we tried once a long time ago with a talking parrot, and that kind of stuff just doesn't. It seems like a good idea when you're talking about it on the phone, and then you get in there and actually do it, and it just doesn't come up. But it works good on TV, where there's you can see what the stupid animal is doing. But on radio, it just doesn't make it. So I think Clyde was our last animal.
Celebrity. Do you know of any copies of your show anywhere? Any other animals?
Oh yeah, they're all over the place. And there's really nothing you can do to stop it. In fact, Chris Schiebel, who is our new midday guy, he was doing a rip-off of Animal Stories when he was in Columbus, when he was doing mornings there.
How do you feel about that?
Nothing you can do about it, so I really don't care. I've done my share of ripping off from other guys in my day too, so now instead of doing the stealing, other people are stealing from me. That's okay. I don't care.
It just kind of reflects your status in the radio world now. Are you really a cat hater?
Oh yeah, geez, I hate cats. Really, I can't find words.
How come?
The whole thing, at least dogs, are genuine. You can tell a dog genuinely likes you. Cats, cats just are so. I can't even think of a proper adjective. Plus the whole business with the kitty litter. I walk in someplace and I can tell immediately whether or not a cat lives in that place, just by the smell of the place, and I just don't like that.
What would you do if somebody gave you a kitten? Make it colorful, don't it?
Well, I just wouldn't accept it. I wouldn't accept it. That's all there is to it. Thanks, but no thanks.
Okay. I'll ask you one more question about animal stories. What's your most memorable animal story that you couldn't do on the air? Do you have one?
Oh, God, there are lots of those.
This kind of stuff can go into the entertainment, right?
Don't ask me. I don't work there. We had one here a while back that was a legit story from, it wasn't UP or AP, I think it was Reuters. And I think it was somewhere in Indonesia or Jakarta or some, place like that, where a man was convicted of raping a pelican, sexual intercourse. We get a lot of stories, people. We had a guy over here in someplace in Michigan who was convicted on a thing with making it with a horse. We get stuff like that all the time. People send us, but a pelican, now that's really bizarre. stuff like that. There's no way
That you could have.
we could use that on the air.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It would boost ratings. Can I talk to you about the radio business?
Sure.
Some stock questions. I've been listening to you since I was a kid, and I can remember on CFL, you did the Clunk Letter of the Day.
Yeah.
You had a real acid tongue. You were just real nasty in the radio. What happened? It seems like you've tempered down. I don't know if it's...
Well, I think part of it is intentional. When I first came, that whole attitude was a very successful bit because prior to my coming, people had been used to these bubbly, sugary, molassesy type guys on the radio who never said anything derogatory about the kids or anything, or the music, or the commercials. It was just, and hey, that's basically pretty phony. Nobody's like that. So I just kind of OD'd the other way, and they were used to Beyondies signing off the show with, saying, God bless you all, and this kind of stuff. So, by nature, I guess I am a rather sarcastic, at times cynical individual with perhaps a negative way of looking at a lot of things. That's just the way I am. So, it was real easy for me to do that because I'm that way anyway. But I think, and then it was very successful at that time. But then I started thinking that, it was so successful that I think for a while I really OD'd on it and I saw how it was working, and I think I started going too far with it. So then I backed off. And now I'm just a charming and delightful guy.
Oh, Uncle Winter.
Yeah.
Do you think you...
But I think part of it is age. I think everybody... hell, as you get older, your views on things change and you mellow out. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it happens to everybody. You're just not as... the older you get, the less rebellious you get. Just the way it goes.
You've been in Chicago 15 years.
Yeah.
In fact, happy anniversary. I just saw it in the Sun-Times Sunday.
Where's the gift, Dad? Come on.
This is it. I'm going to give you a rave write-up. How long have you been in the business? You started out in, what was that? Some little town in Idaho, right?
Caldwell, 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 Idaho.
How many years ago was it?
20, let's see, what is it? Okay, I started in the fall of, let's see, graduated from high school in 57. Okay, fall of 58. So we're talking, what is that, 24, into the 24th year now, yeah.
Right. Jesus Christ, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Not a little kid anymore.
No. Mr. Lujack will be 42 this summer.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Can I put that in the story?
Sure.
But
see, that's another thing. When you're young, or relatively, relative to me, hell, any disc jockey is young. Our music director is 19, for Christ's sakes. Sheeple is 26 or 27, something like that. When you start getting to be about 30, in interviews like this, you lie about your age and you say 26. But then when you get to be my age, fuck it. Hey, I'm 42 almost. This summer I will be.
Your music director is 19.
Yeah.
What kind of relationship do you have with people like that? You're older probably than a lot of the management here.
Oh yeah, I'm. Hell, I'm older than anybody, any of the department heads or anybody in management. Well, that's just hell. That's going to happen. if you're going to be successful, you know that's going to happen. You know, you go through a period where you're always the youngest guy at the station. No matter what station you go to, you're the youngest guy there. And so I went through that period. But hell, you can't stay young, and so
I mean,
it's not really that big a problem,
yeah.
really. You know, I know that when it comes to you know, the people that I have to take order, you know, I don't have to take any orders from a music director, of course, but like our general manager is, I don't know, 35, something like that. That's 7 years. There's not really that much difference. I mean, I don't have any problem with taking orders from somebody that's younger. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me.
Uh-huh.
You know.
So after 24 years on the air, how restricted are you on the air? I mean, can you pretty much do what you want?
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of problems with that. The thing in morning drive, though, is that it's you're limited a lot by time. You know, whereas, you know, like Steve downstairs, Steve Dahl and Gary have a lot of time to play with. I don't, because you've got I think they only have like 2 newscasts during their whole show. I got 2 an hour, and 4 traffic reports per hour, and a lot more commercials, and there's only so much time to do all this stuff. And so that's really the only thing where I'm limited, is that I just really don't have a lot of time to screw around. But that's good. It means the station's making a lot of money, so that's the name of the game.
That keeps you in business. You just mentioned Steve Dahl. What's your relationship with Steve Dahl? I mean, do you
Hardly ever see him.
You ever listen to his show?
Yeah, I listen on the way. I think Steve and Gary both have talent to burn. I think there are things that they do that, were I the general manager, I would say don't do that kind of stuff, because I think they go overboard on some things. But I think they're very talented, creative people, and I'd sure as hell a lot rather have them working for this station than somebody else.
You see any similarities between Steve Dahl's style and your style? I mean, not necessarily Steve Dahl as a young Larry Lujack, but...
No, not really, other than the fact that, okay, Steve, I think, is 26, 27, and he's a lot like I was at that age, that being very irresponsible, you know, and who gives a diddle about anything, and I was the same way at that age, which resulted in me getting fired in a lot of places early in my career. But that's really the only similarity, I think. I don't think he does his own thing, and I think he does it very well.
You were on the air with him for, I think you were. I mean, I just heard you were going to be, and somebody told me they heard a show. But when Rich Little was here,
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, what happened there? I mean, I didn't get to hear it all. I've heard.
Well, it was Celebrity Jeopardy, is what it was,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Rich Little was in a weird mood, maybe he's that way all the time. I don't know. I never met the guy before, but he just wasn't. You know, a lot of times, like most of the time that I've heard that they do that Celebrity Jeopardy bit, it works out good because whoever the celebrity is really gets into it and is trying to win and so forth. Rich Little just didn't really want to get into it. It was like he just didn't want to mess with the whole thing, that he was just making a tour of radio stations, promote his album, and he just wanted to talk about the album and get the hell out. You know, so I mean, he wasn't really a fun guy to do that kind of a thing with, and it got very awkward and very dumb sounding on the air. It was, but I didn't know a hell of a lot about any of the categories that day. I didn't do too good. But I was trying to win. But I think I placed last, I'm not sure.
Now that you're on AM and FM, this is the first time you've ever been broadcast on FM, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel, I mean, you haven't even had to restructure your show at all, or your
No.
approach to radio in general. Do you see AM and FM as two completely different markets? Could Steve Dahl do as well on AM as he's doing on FM?
I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to it. I think it's pretty well recognized that that Steve is they're aiming that show toward younger type demographics. There are a lot of things that maybe a 21-year-old woman will put up with or think is funny over the air that a 35-year-old housewife and mother of a 12-year-old kid just won't tolerate. So I really don't know whether he could do as well on AM as he does FM. I just don't know.
Do you think AM's still happening? I mean, FM's pretty much taken over.
Yeah, this station really is very unique in the fact that we are WLS-AM is the #1 rock radio station in this city, and that exists. That kind of a situation exists in no other major market. In any other major market, the #1 rock station is an FM station. Now, why that is, I don't know. Whether it's that we're so good, or the competition is so bad, or maybe this city is just weird. I don't know, but even our sister station, WABC in New York, which was a rock giant in New York for a long time ago, they just announced plans to go all talk effective April 1st because they weren't cutting it anymore. They were getting beat by their own FM and everybody else too. So this is ABC has 7 FM stations and 7 AM stations, and we are the last one that's still playing music on the AM band. How long that will continue, I don't know. I don't see any end in sight, but if it comes, it comes. I'm just not worried about it. I'll either play music on FM or I'll talk on AM. Do animal stories and cheap, trashy showbiz all morning long. That's fine with me. I don't care. One of the problems with my attitude toward this career at the moment is this. After you go into a control room, go in a control room and you put on headphones and you listen to 4.5 hours of music every day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and now decade after decade. When you've been doing this for 24 years, pretty soon you just plain flat get tired of hearing music. I don't care what kind of music it is. I mean, I sit in there and I think if I hear Open Arms by Journey or Turn Your Love Around by George Benson one more time, I'm going to scream. So to me, that would be no big deal if suddenly the AM went all talk. Hell, I think that was fun. I'd like to do a type format where I'm not talking about all the news like BBM. I think that would be boring. Or the kind of thing that Win does, where they're heavy on information. I'd like to do just laugh and giggle radio all day. Like animal stories and cheap, trashy showbiz and the kind of stuff that Steve does downstairs, and just do a newscast, but take a half an hour to do it, and just screw it up.
Well, I can remember a time when you were on CFL when you did used to talk a lot more than you do now.
I had more time because I was on in the afternoon.
That's why.
But morning drive is something else. There's just not a whole lot of time.
Well, in your book, Super Jock,
you talked about
What a piece of shit that was.
the book. I had to read it. Anyway, you talked in there about how you hated morning drive. You didn't like to get up in the
I
morning and do
didn't.
your show.
I didn't, and that's when I went over to CFL. That's one of the reasons that I went over there. Well, one was obviously they were paying me a lot more money, but number two is I didn't want to do mornings anymore, simply because it screws up your whole life doing a show like that. And but then I got in a jam, when CFL went down the tubes.
You were announcing beautiful music.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And actually, that wasn't that bad. That was the world's easiest job because there wasn't any preparation to do because, hell, you weren't allowed to ad-lib or anything. You just gave the time and temperature every 15 minutes.
And you liked that.
What?
You liked that?
Damn right. For 6 months, that was great. I played more golf than, I'd get there about 30 seconds till 2 and leave right at 6. 4-hour-a-day job, and they're paying me all this money, and they hated me.
Oh,
damn right, they wanted me out of there. Okay, I say it was, for 6 months, it wasn't that bad. I mean, hell, it was a pleasant change for me. I had a lot more spare time and things to do, but eventually it would have got boring, and it was starting to get boring. So this thing opened at LS, and I knew that I was going to have to get out of CFL someday, and so I had better, it's a good deal coming over here, so I took it even though I'm not wild about doing mornings. It never happened.
Oh, so as soon as you came here, you were doing mornings?
Yeah, that was the deal, that we will hire you to do mornings. But I think after my current contract is up here, you have heard your charming and delightful old Uncle Larry do his last morning show. I mean, I still may be working here, but I don't think I'm going to be doing mornings. His contract has about, I don't know, 3.5 years to go.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, and but after that, I will be 45 then, and I will have done my last morning show.
Do you have any regrets about being in radio? I mean, would you rather be stocking fish farms in Idaho? Have you ever had any regrets about it?
Yeah. And I think if I had it to do all over again, I wouldn't do it because it's really too big a price to pay. Like in the first 6 years of my career, I moved 7 times. That's just no way to live, and yet that's really the way most of us have had to do it. Okay, once in a while you get some fluke situation like Surratt when he was on, where, hell, he started on an FM station in Chicago and just managed to stay here and didn't have to, pay his dues in the cow towns and work his way up. But for most of us, that's how we had to do it. And, jerking up your family and moving from Seattle to Boston, clear across the damn country, and doing that 7 times in 6 years is, my God. And then the situation this now is no way to live either when, you're getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning and hell, in order to get 8 hours of sleep, you'd have to go to bed 6, but God, you can't go to bed at 6, for God's sakes, nobody can do that. So what happens is you end up getting, 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night, and then, God, when the weekend finally comes, you're so tired that you just go into a coma all day Saturday and waste that day. So it just, the money is real good, and, from a financial standpoint, I've succeeded beyond my wildest expectations. Oh my God. But it's just no way to live. It's stupid. And I think knowing what I now know about the business, I think people think that we really have an easy job. I think the public's conception of a disc jockey is some guy who sits on the radio, sits there and plays records for 4.5 hours every day and has a good time. And that's all he does. But there's a lot more, see this damn desk? There's a lot more that goes into it. And there's a lot of preparation work, and there's the personal appearances, and
You still do personal appearances?
yeah, well, I still well, the station requires we do X amount of things. Like it was a lucky thing I had this interview today, or I would have had to go out to Northbrook to do some 7-Up high school team of the week trophy presentation, that kind of stuff. Other than the ones the station requires, I don't do them unless it's for just a shitload of money. The only exception, of course, is something like our basketball team where, that's a promotion, but I like doing it anyway, and we play for charity, so that's a good deal.
Against the Morris Police Force.
Yeah. But I don't do many of those anymore simply because there's just no time. Unless somebody's just willing to pay me, some outrageous fee, which, you run into one of those once in a while. I did a thing in San Francisco a couple of weeks ago, a convention deal. Where for being on stage for about 20 minutes, they paid me $10,000.
Jeez.
So those once in a lifetime gigs.
I think I'm going to take speech classes.
Something like that, I'll do. But those don't come along.
Whatever happened, I mean, the old AM radio wars obviously died when CFO went down the tubes, but are there FM radio wars? Do you see like the same sort of parallels?
Oh yeah, sure.
FM
Like
radio?
between MET and LUP is a good example.
Do you think that LS fits into that radio war then?
Sure. I think we're after a broader based audience. We're after they're shooting at primarily age group of like 12 to 24. The Loop and MET. Okay, we're going a little higher than that. We hope we can get kids to listen, but mostly we're after like 18 to 34s. But we'll take anybody, anybody we can get.
Well, I mean, do you see parallels between that and CFL and LS back in like early 70s?
Yeah, it's really the same thing, only it's on a different band. Not all of these stations playing rock are going to survive because there are only X amount of advertising dollars that are going into rock radio. And right now that pie is being split up too many ways. It's really, MET's making money and Loop's making money and LS is making money. The rest of them aren't. The XRTs and the BBM FMs and all these others. So some of those other outfits are going to have to
Shape up.
yeah, and I don't think the MET Loop thing can go on forever too. One of them eventually is going to have to give it up and try something else. I don't know which one it's going to be, but
So you sound like you don't really care about the music you're playing
that's right.
in the morning. What would you rather be playing if you could pick your
I wouldn't rather be playing anything.
No music. No Waylon Jennings?
Oh, that would be fine for a while, but after a while, that would. I mean, I worked at a country station once a long time ago, and previous to that, it always been rock.
Wasn't country your favorite?
Yeah, it is. If I have to listen to something, I'd rather listen to Waylon Jennings or the Eagles or something like that than anything else. But I really anymore. On the way to work, I don't listen to music. I punch around and listen to newscasts to see if anything big happened overnight. And on the way home, sometimes I'll listen to Steve and Gary, but depending on what they're doing that day. But otherwise, I don't listen to anything. I just ride home in silence. And my wife,
Judy?
yeah, she really likes music, and I'll walk in the house, she'll have a damn stereo on, she'll be playing some album or something, that's the first thing I have to do is that's just a rule in our house. When I come home, radios do not play. I walk over there and I turn that damn thing off. So
you're just like...
I just really, in 24 years, I've heard all the music that I need to hear. I mean, I can't stand to be in a bar where there's a jukebox going or some cocktail lounge where there's a piano player playing, or I just can't take it.
Right. So how do you feel about radio business in general? Do you still feel like it's all the bullshit it used to be? I mean, is there still a rat race? Is there a lot of competition between the jocks?
Yeah, well, there's, when you figure that there are literally millions of dollars in advertising revenue at stake that ride on those ratings, and then you consider that who knows how accurate those rating services are. Nobody knows. But yet your job rides on that. That's really a scary thing. Okay, I have been extremely lucky in the fact that I have a whole hell of a lot more job security than most guys do in this business, because I've been able to negotiate some contracts that were non-cancelable. Most guys, they can be fired with 13 weeks notice or less. Maybe it's 30 days. And that's the way it is for most guys in this business, and that's not really job security for most people, unless you're lucky like Larry Lujack or Wally Phillips or somebody like that. Job security just doesn't exist, and that's very frightening to know that you can work your ass off and be the world's most dedicated, conscientious employee, and still, if the ratings come out and you're not cutting it, you're going to be gone. And if I were to take a piece of paper and pencil and start writing down names of all the disc jockeys that have gone through this thing, and I'm not talking about the other stations, I'm talking about just rock radio stations. My God, it would that'd be an awful long list. So.
Whatever happened to people that used to be close to people like Jerry Day?
Jerry Kay was out of radio for a while, working at his father's furniture store in Yakima, Washington, Yakima. And then he got tired of that, and now he's back in radio in Seattle.
Oh, that's...
Tom Murphy is working a radio station in Los Angeles, and Charlie Tuna is still in Los Angeles.
People from CFL days, who else?
Oh God, I don't know where they are. Well, Bob Dearborn's doing in fact, you can hear him here. He's doing a thing for the RKO network called Nighttime America. That's you hear him
after midnight on FYR. And
You were pretty close to these people?
Jerry, I was. The rest of them, not really.
No. Anybody in the business now? Anybody here? Tom Edwards?
No, I don't see anybody here. Well, the only person that I see socially really is Jeff Hedricks, but that's just for golf games. And there's a couple other guys here that I occasionally play golf with, but I mean, I don't go to movies with them, or I don't go to their houses and they don't come to mine. It's just nothing to talk about.
Right. Okay. I think this might be my last question on radio. How much of what you project on the radio is you, and how much of it is image? And like, how much of radio in general is image, do you think?
I think it's, yeah, okay, you know, you've got to be a little bit phony. Because you're playing a game. But I'd say it's really a very small part of it anymore. I think 95% maybe of what you hear on the air is the real me. And the other 5% I'm doing because even though it's phony, I know that's the successful way to do it. But the rest is just, hey, I've just mellowed out into a charming and delightful guy. You know?
Okay, fine. Is this place home? Is Chicago home now to you? I mean, you've been here for
No, I hate it as much as I ever did. I just don't like big cities.
And you hate it as much as Boston, you said?
Well, no, Boston was, that was really the pits. But
you live in
I wouldn't say that Chicago is a lot better than Boston. I will just say that Boston is a lot more horrible than Chicago. But that doesn't mean Chicago is better. I mean, I just don't like big cities.
But you spent a lot of your time in big cities.
Yes, 15 years of his life wasted in the big city.
No, it's not wasted, because this will let you go back to the country after you retire. I mean, that's what you're going to do, right? Go back
Yeah. Oh, sure. I'm sure not going to live the rest of my life here. Wow.
You live in Chicago?
It depresses me to even think about it. No, I live out in the suburbs, on the northwest suburbs. And that's another bad thing about the mornings is that if you're working afternoons, you can take the train in and out and get some work done, you know, while you're sitting there on the train. But I think where I live, the first train that runs in the morning is like at 5:30, and hell, I'm supposed to be down here on the air by then. So you got to drive in and out every day, and there's all that time every day that you just waste, you know, just sitting in the car accomplishing absolutely nothing.
Right.
That's depressing.
Oh, it was great. I don't know if you read Mike Michael, but he had a great article about the people who commute from Philadelphia to New York City and all the time they waste in their cars or their trains or whatever they do. That's true. It is the worst. You used to have a kind of a love-hate relationship with your listeners. I mean, at least back in, I don't even know if it was back in the days of CFL, but at one point, part of your popularity was built up on your listeners almost hating you to a point where they would absolutely have to listen to you. But now in Chicago, I mean, your status, you're pretty well liked.
Well, I think that's, you know, that goes back to what we were talking about before. It was successful just because it was something completely different from what anybody else was doing at the time, and so that's why I did it. And yeah, you're right. A lot of the people that listened to me at that time probably hated my guts, but just tuned in to see, you know, what this asshole would do next. But like I said, you can go too far with that. And besides, I'm not the same guy I was then. So, and actually, you know, given a choice, you'd much rather that people liked you you know, rather than the other way. Even if the other way were just as successful, I think it's, you know, far preferable to be successful and have people think you're, you know, a nice guy or whatever.
Considering how you feel about big cities, that means you're probably only going to stay in Chicago as long as the money's here, right? I mean, you pretty much should go where the money's
Well, I can't think of another good reason to stay here. Were you raised here?
Yes.
Well, see, it's the old thing. There's no place like home. Like my wife was, she was raised in Des Plaines, you know, and so she's always lived here, and she thinks this is great. I mean, she can't see the appeal. I mean, she can't see what I see in Boise. She thinks it's, you know, small hick town, how depressing. But to me, it's beautiful, wide open spaces, and the whole pace of life is, you know, a lot slower and more tranquil. But hell, it's all in how you were raised. You know, I suppose if I would have been born here, I would like this too. But I wasn't, and I don't.
Is there a point where you don't let money dictate what you do? Like, would you go back to Boise, say, for the same money you're making now? I mean, that would be reason enough for you to go back to a place like Boise.
Oh, if I could make as much money there as here, oh hell yes, I'd be done in a flash. Yeah, because really, okay, in the beginning when you're starting out, and you haven't lived in the big city, and you don't know how much you're going to hate it. You don't find that out till later. You know, you've never experienced it, so you don't know what your reaction is going to be. But you have this desire to make the big time, to prove to yourself that you can do it. So that's a motivating factor. And but then you get there, and you've accomplished all your goals. You've even surpassed. You know, I think, like I said in the book, at one time, I thought Boise would be, wow, the end of the world, the big time for me. If I could just make it into Boise, for God's sake. And then after that, it was, wow, Spokane was the big time, and then Seattle. And, you know, I was sure that when I got to Seattle, that, wow, I had peaked. That would be the farthest I could go. But, you know, you keep climbing. Just as more of a, you know, well, there's the money, of course, but a lot of it is just ego to see if you can do it. But then when you accomplish all these things and you surpass all your goals, and hell, I don't have any goals anymore, really. I have no desire. I've been offered jobs in New York, but I don't want to go there. There's no amount of money that I would go to New York for. No amount of money. And I kid you not, if somebody came up and said $1 million a year to go to New York, no. Because hell, my life is at least 2/3 over, and possibly more. You know, I'm just not going to blow the rest of it like that in a place I would hate. There isn't enough money to make me do that. So, so you run out of goals, and then what do? And it's not an ego thing anymore being here, because okay, initially it's kind of exciting when you see your face up on a billboard, or you see yourself in a TV commercial, or you see a newspaper article about yourself. But after you've seen all that crap over and over and over again, it doesn't mean anything anymore to you. I mean, it's not. I mean, if I'm out in the kitchen, you know, eating a cup of yogurt or something, and I hear on the TV out of the living room that Rodney Dangerfield spot come on, I don't run out there to see it, you know, because it doesn't mean shit to me anymore. So that stuff to me doesn't really count anymore. I just don't care about it. So that's not what's keeping me here. So
there was a point where money wouldn't sway you.
That,
you know,
yeah,
you're probably
yeah,
at that
and that
point
point's getting real close.
The commercial at Rodney Dangerfield, you know Rodney Dangerfield? I mean, that thing went real well. You know.
The 10-second version is released in the staff notes the other day. The 10-second is up for some award from the Hollywood Association of Television. I forget what the name of the organization is.
So how was it working with Rodney Dangerfield on that commercial? mean, probably didn't take a whole hell of a lot of rehearsal.
Well, it took damn near a whole day to shoot it.
Uh-huh.
But that was, it doesn't look like a tough spot to do when you just see it, but then you start really looking at it close and look at the timing, particularly the third, at least 800,000 takes of that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know him, and even after working with him all day, I still couldn't say that I know Rodney Dangerfield because...
Well, was it fun working with him? Was he funny? Is he a funny person?
Not, no. No, in person, I mean, it's not the kind of a thing where he's banging out the one-liners at you. He's just, he's there to do a job. He's getting well paid. He wants to get it done, get it over with, and get back on that plane and get the hell out of here and go back home. It's like everybody else there. So, you know, it's just a very business-like type atmosphere. Let's do it, get it over with.
Another rumor has it that commercial where they say, in fact, he's starting this. The commercial where they say, where he says there's a lot of new faces around here, that ass that he pats on the commercial is denies.
Yeah.
Denies?
Yeah. And they even, after the first couple of takes, they made her take off her panties so that there wouldn't be any panty line.
Wow. Okay. Your Animal Stories commercials, I mean, we don't see those anymore. How come? What happened to Animal Stories commercials?
I thought those had disappeared too, but I saw one last night.
Oh,
They started running them again. Evidently they got sick of the Dangerfield ones, and I don't know whether they're just running the Animal Stories ones or whether they're rotating them now. And Steve's got some commercials I think they're going to run starting
Wednesday.
tomorrow, I think. So,
when were these Animal Stories commercials made? How long ago?
oh God. Long time ago. Geez, I don't know, must have been about 4 years ago, maybe even a little longer, I don't know. What year is it, 82?
Yeah.
I came here in 76. Yeah, they're about 4 years old.
You were really riding. What are you riding on the commercials?
Well, there's two different versions. One is a pig,
Yeah,
a
that's
400-pound pig, and the other one is this little burro. That's the one I saw last night.
you know, really. I mean, did you have any problems riding these things? I mean,
No, the burro thing, you know, I came out and I thought, you know, he might do some bucking or do something. And somebody didn't do anything, just come out and stood there. The pig, though, was really tough. I didn't think there would be any problem at all with that. And I said, okay, before we started shooting, I said, you want me to fall off this pig and make it look like, you know, he bucked me off or something? I said, and the guy, the farmer whose pig was, said, don't worry about that. You just see if you can stay on that son of a bitch. And boy, I couldn't. I came out of that on that thing. I think we did about 6 takes. Couldn't stay on them once. Their skin is, they run so, their legs are so short and stiff, and it's real jiggly the way they run, and then their skin is real loose, and there's nothing to hang on to. You know, I mean, there's like a saddle or anything. So it was impossible to stay on that son of a bitch. So those falls weren't faked.
What about your other Animal Stories commercials? I mean, didn't you have one where you're sitting with a monkey, don't you?
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. There were two. There were the ones with. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. What was there?
There was one I can't remember myself. In fact, you have pictures of them on the back of your album. There was the one where you were going to talk to a monkey.
Oh yeah, the shark fin and the
right.
beehive. Yeah, that was all in the same one. Yeah. That was all the same.
All one commercial with
Yeah.
a bunch of different shots. Is
Yeah.
there anything amusing you can tell about when you were making these commercials?
Yeah, there's one. That monkey was pathetic. They had him so drugged to calm him down that we had to stop shooting for a while because, you know, he was just
Zonked out.
laying like this, slobbering on himself. They had him so drugged out. This, they had like an exploding flash bulb out here. The first, in fact, I don't know whether it's still around, we had a tape of outtakes on these things. The first time we did this, some spark flew up out of this thing and landed on my head and actually started on fire. You know, there was smoke coming up out of my head.
These things are bad.
Have you ever seen this thing in the foot theaters, Hypnotizing the Chicken? Our little,
No, I haven't
you haven't
seen
seen
that.
that?
I've seen it in the no smoking thing. I haven't seen that.
You're talking about the old one.
That was a
Yeah.
long time
Yeah,
ago.
this is the new one. This is a no smoking thing too, but we also hypnotize chicken.
You hypnotize a chicken.
Yeah.
My whole next category of questions concerns your extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's it then. Then you're almost done.
Okay. What about my? Let me. You want some more coffee?
Yeah.
How do you want it? How do you want it?
Black. Okay. Well, extracurricular activities. You like golf and basketball.
Yeah, this is going to be a very short subject because I don't really, other than golf in the summer and basketball in the winter.
No tennis.
No, I don't play tennis anymore. Tennis got to be too much like work. I don't like to do anything that makes me real tired.
Well, it doesn't have to be a short subject. You got to have amusing stories from playing golf, don't you? Amusing golf stories.
People may think, listen to the air, that this is, that we're putting this on, but I mean, it is, to be the WLS champion around here is really a matter of pride. I mean, it's, these are heated battles going on out there, and oftentimes tempers do flare over rules, interpretation of rules, that kind of stuff. I'll show you, here's a good example of how intense these things are. Our general manager, Don Balukas, who recently got promoted to New York, he's not the general manager now. I was playing with him one day out at Kemper Lakes. Do you play golf now? Okay. It's a really nice course out in Long Grove. And we were playing for $100. And we were on the last hole, and we were tied. And we tied that hole, but then I noticed something. I thought, I was looking at his clubs, and I noticed something that didn't look right. And I counted his clubs, and he had 15 clubs in his bag. You're only allowed 14. And so I called him on that, and I took the $100.
He was probably off to.
Yes. I mean, that just shows you how intense it is. I mean, and we really play by the rules, and nobody likes to get nailed on a technicality like that, especially for $100.
Right.
Because otherwise, the match would have been tied. We would have had to go sudden death playoff. But we're doing it legit out there, and I don't care if it is the general manager of the radio station, the man who signs my check. If he's got too many clubs in his bag, he pays. So.
How many people here are involved in the golf? I mean,
There's about 5 guys here. Jeff's the one that, since we work the same hours and stuff, I play with him most because our schedules are more alike. And, I've gotten in more than a few heated arguments with him, too. There's on occasion, tempers will flash, and there's a little name calling out there.
Jeff, you mean Jeff Hendricks?
Yes, Hendricks, yeah.
And he's the news person. How old is he?
Oh, Jeff is about 37, 38, I think.
He's got a real old-sounding voice on the radio. I mean, I think I pictured now like 50 or so. Okay. What else do you do? I mean, in your spare time?
That's it. I really don't do anything.
Yeah.
Golf in the summer is about all I do, and basketball in the winter. And my wife and I occasionally will go to a movie, but I'm really not even doing that much anymore. More often than not, she goes with one of her girlfriends or her sister because I'm getting turned off by movies. I mean, I get tired of seeing. You go to 10 movies. 8 of them are stiffs, and you wish to hell you'd never wasted your money and your time, to see. I mean, okay, I thought Raiders of the Lost Ark was mildly entertaining, and I'm glad I went to see it, but God, most of them are just are a waste. And it's such a low percentage of good ones that I just really don't even go to many movies anymore.
Do you read? Yeah.
Well, most of the reading I do is work connected.
Right.
I mean, doesn't that yellow pile of shit look interesting?
What
Actually, it is. It's
Are these all readouts from your
Teletype copy. But that's it's very time consuming, and a lot of it is of absolutely no interest. But you really learn a lot of interesting things just going through stuff like that, because newspapers have only got so much space. There's stuff in there that's really interesting that you will never see on any TV newscast, or you'll never hear it on any radio newscast. Will never be in any paper, simply because there isn't space. So, but most of the reading I do is like job-related type reading. I mean, I read 3 newspapers a day, and plow through this stuff and various trade publications like Billboard, Record World, and Cash Box and stuff like that. And it's kind of like music, after you've done all that reading that's just job related, you really don't feel like going home and reading some novel or something.
How much time do you spend here? I mean, 8 hours?
Way
more?
too much. No, it's more than 8 hours.
Yeah.
I try to get here no later than 4 every morning. Sometimes I don't make it. Depending on what time I got to bed at 4. I prefer to be here by 3:30, but as I get older, that gets tougher. And oftentimes I am here till I try to be gone by 2 so I can beat the rush hour, but more and more I'm not getting that done either. There are a lot of days I'm down here until 3 or 4, or sometimes, I just bag it and go home after the rush hour. Leave about 6:30.
That's a lot of time.
So, yeah, if you're here from 4 till 6:30 every day, you're talking a lot of hours.
13 and a half hours, yeah, that's quite a bit. How much of your time do you spend here planning your show? I mean, in the book you made reference to that being the most important part, the time-consuming part. But I mean, as the years have gone on, haven't you gotten better at it?
No, there's really no way to get I suppose you get better at it, but it still takes just as much time, because, that animal story stuff doesn't come out of thin air, and you still have to find it. I mean, the stuff somewhere, it's in the mail that I haven't read, or it's in this pile of crap, or it's in those newspapers. You still got to find it. Now, I suppose if I was smart, I would hire, no, not in some ways. I would hire somebody to help me do a lot of that stuff, train somebody. But it's hard to, I'm really the only person who knows what I'm looking for, and I don't know what it is until I see it. And it's hard to, if not impossible, really, to teach somebody to think the same way you think. So yeah, that's why I could never be in management or be a program director. Not that I would want to anyway, because I don't want to deal with people like me. But I could never delegate authority. I would always think that I'm the only one who would know how I wanted it done, so I would have to do it myself. And that really is my biggest problem. I mean, certainly I could afford to hire a secretary or somebody to do a lot of this crap for me. But I just think they wouldn't really do it the way I want it done, so I end up doing it myself and, working $300 a week. And that's stupid. I mean, that's no way to live either.
Okay. You don't have any kids?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
Oh, you do have 3 kids? So you spend, I'm afraid to ask this question, this is probably walking me into a corner. Do you spend time with your kids? I mean, were these?
Well, that gets off into another story in that Judy is my second wife.
Yeah,
Okay, she has a son by a previous marriage who lives with us. My 3 kids live with their mother in Idaho, and so I still see them a lot. I see them. They come in for a week every Christmas, and I'm going out there for a few days in April, and they all come in as soon as school's out in the summer, and then I go back out there in the fall. So, about 4 times a year, either I'm there or they're here. And I talk to them on the phone every week. So.
They're young kids?
Oh, no. Hey, when you're 42, you don't know you have young kids. Oldest kid just joined the Air Force. He's 18. And he's doing a little boot camp boogie down at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. My daughter is 17 and she's graduating this year, and she wants to go to school around here somewhere, possibly Loyola. She's not sure yet. And the other kid is 15. That's probably never appeared in any interview before.
I wonder
So
if
you
I
got
can do
a
that.
hot scoop there.
I can do that, huh?
Sure.
Okay.
See, there's another thing when you're young and stupid, and you think that the listeners somehow want to perceive you as being a single guy who goes to parties and really lives, and so you just leave out the bit about the wife and the kids, talk about on the air. I still don't on the air because I just really don't think that, and the only reason is that I don't think it's really interesting to people. I mean, there are guys in this town who go on and on about what their kids did that morning, and or what some dumb diddly deal their wife did with the car the day before. I just don't think that's that interesting to listeners, so I don't really do much with it on the air.
How do they feel about their dad being a pretty famous disc jockey?
I don't think it. They know it. I mean, they were with me when I was moving those 7 times in 6 years, and they lived here in Lombard up until 4 years ago when their mother moved out to Idaho. And they know how much time the job takes, and their friends may think that that's kind of glamorous and all, but they know what the job really is, and so to them it's not glamorous or exciting. I'm the guy who gets them free albums. Basically, all this job amounts to them.
How old is Judy's kid?
He's 12.
Oh, so he's about right at the age where he should be coming to realize that Larry Lujack.
Oh yeah, well it's no big deal to him either, because Judy and I have been married for it's going on 10 years now, and so he also he knows what this job consists of, and it's no big deal to him either. I'm also the guy who gets him free albums. Like the latest REI. Hey, get me the latest Police album, will you? Okay.
Do they come down here to watch you ever?
They've been down. They've all been down here.
Yeah.
But actually, I think they were all down here about once, and after seeing how really unexciting it was, they had no desire to see it again.
Really, I've never been. Well, I was here when I was 14, but I can't remember what I saw. I walked in and I just saw you back in the window. I wasn't even sure that it was you. I had no idea. I've never seen you in person. You're a pretty big guy. I mean, you don't get this impression when you're in your commercials on TV. You're shorter than real life. You're probably the only person on TV who looks shorter than real life. About the Morris Police Force, how did your whole rapport with them come on? I mean, I catch these things on the radio where they're saying they're going to trounce all over you in basketball. Wasn't there something about the Morris Police Force? It might have been a part of Animal Stories.
Yeah, that's where it started. Just Morris is one of those places where they've got a newspaper, but what the hell goes on in Morris? It's worth thinking. So they print these real bizarre items about the police going out and shooting some stray dog or some stray skunk or whatever the hell, or some groundhog in somebody's garage. And people over there were sending this stuff to us, and God, we noticed there was really a lot of that stuff going on over there. I mean, every day these Morris police are gunning down some sort of animal, and it just seemed to us like, God, they must, kind of OD on that stuff over there. Real quick with the triggers. Yeah. And so, it got to be a regular deal on Animal Stories. Here's the latest update from Morris. Here's the latest dead animal count from Morris. And so we just started giving them a lot of shit on the air, and so they challenged us to a basketball game.
Now, how long ago was that? I mean, it couldn't have been a real long time ago, couldn't it?
No, I think the whole Morris deal started about maybe a year and a half ago. And so they challenged us to a basketball game for charity, so we went over there and kicked our ass. I thought they really thought they were going to win, too, because they were having practices every other day. I mean, they even had a whole bunch of plays that they had practiced and stuff.
You guys don't do that?
Nah, we just go out there and freelance. But we got a good team, and that's the other thing. People have never seen our basketball team. I mean, they think, okay, these guys are fucking disc jockeys. They don't know what they're doing. But all of us played in high school, with the exception of Grobstein. Grobstein is probably one of the world's most awkward human beings.
You give him a lot of shit on the radio, boy.
Les is not one of the most coordinated people on the planet. But all the rest of us played ball in high school. And yeah, for me, high school was, 24, 25 years ago. That's a long time. But still, I can play. I'm nowhere near as fast as, and now I'm really not fast. But, so, a lot of these teams we play are really good too. The Morris Police wasn't really much of a contest, but a lot of these places we go out, we're playing, okay, we got a game coming up a couple of weeks in Crystal Lake. Okay. Who we're playing is, the geometry teacher and the algebra teacher. They may be on the team, but they're not the ones who are going to play most of the time. The guys who play the most time are the coaches. And a lot of those coaches are like recent college graduates who played college ball. And there's some big guys out there. So, a lot of these teams are pretty good that we play.
Who's responsible for that?
That was the last game, Saturday night.
Who'd you play?
At Oak Park High School. I don't really know how this happened.
Did they have to carry you off the court?
No. In fact, I played the rest of the game. I broke it in the fourth quarter, and I thought it was broken. See, I've broken this ankle before and played high school basketball. And I thought I broke it again. I mean, I've twisted my ankles, of course, playing basketball in high school. I've twisted both these ankles, who knows how many hundreds of times. But as soon as it happened, I was pretty sure it was a break. In fact, I went over and told you, I think I broke my fucking foot again. But I played the rest of the game and was in a shitload of pain doing it. But I wanted to score just one more time before I went out.
And you had 9 points?
Yeah, I was trying to make 11, get into double figures, but didn't make it. But I don't know. I mean, nobody fell on me. I didn't fall down. I just trying to make a sharp cut, and I just, felt something go snap-a-rooney in there.
So how are you going to play on Saturday? I mean, is this something you're used to, playing in pain? Playing on broken
Well, I'm
legs?
not really in pain now. I can even run with this. I was showing Jeff up and down the hall. It looks stupid because you have to run kind of weird, but I mean, you can even run, so.
Is that thing a cast?
Yeah, it's it looks soft, but it's hard.
So when do you get it off?
4 weeks.
But if you keep playing basketball, it might be longer, right?
No, he said, I didn't ask him specifically about basketball, but I said, how about golf? And he said, fine. See, the break is not a vertical break. It's on the top right here's where the break is, and it's a horizontal type break, and I can put weight on it. It doesn't do a thing. I mean, I can run and stuff. I mean, if I went up on my toes, that would hurt.
So you have to go off your other foot.
But I can't with this shoe. I can't really do that. So as long as I don't, go up on my toes or do anything like that, now I'm okay.
So now you're going to play basketball on Saturday?
Yeah.
On a broken foot.
Yep.
And, I mean, aren't you going to have to jump off your toes?
No, I won't be able to. I mean, obviously my game is going to have to be altered quite a bit, but I still think I'll be able to play okay.
You'll be able to do free throws anyway.
Sure, I'll just stumble down the lane and get fouled a lot. Shoot free throws all night.
Who do you guys play Saturday? Lombard.
Yeah, St. Pius School in Lombard.
You do this every weekend for how long?
We usually have about 10 games every winter.
Uh-huh.
And they're all for, like last week we were playing, originally when we started this we were playing for some pretty dumb causes, like so the band could get new uniforms at the high school, or so the seniors, they were raising money for their senior trip or this kind of crap. But we did away with that, and now we just play for, some legit worthy type cause. Like last week, it was for some Oak Park policeman who got shot to death. It was for his family and stuff like that. So
That's real good PR for you guys too.
yeah. Plus we enjoy doing it, so we raise money for, some big deal, and we like to play basketball. So
You get a lot of people to come watch it.
yeah, we had the Morris game was sold out, I think, about 24 hours after they put tickets on, and that was over. The gym only held 2,000, but they got about 2,500 in standing room. And a lot of these games are, in fact, I think every game we've had so far was a sellout, with the exception of last week, and that's a huge gym they have in Oak Park. It's about, I think it holds about 3,000 or 4,000. There's about 2,000, 2,500 there. Most of them are sellouts.
So, what happens to Larry Lujack now? You just go on day to day. You got any plans, any good, big, amazing plans that we could break
No,
before they happen?
no, I really don't know myself. I just know that,
The world's going to end tomorrow. Anyway.
yeah, that's right. So who cares? This thing will never get into print, and the basketball game Saturday is not even going to be played because we'll all be.
Yeah, atomic particles.
Other than the fact that Mr. Lujack sincerely doubts that he will be doing any more morning shows after this contract runs out, that's really,
The biggest news.
yeah, after that, I really don't know.
You might still be here.
That's possible, but I sure intend to be gone by the time the big 5-0 rolls around. I'm going to be in some little bitty town out west that has some nice golf courses and has a half-decent climate. I don't want to move to Arizona where it's real hot in summer, or Southern California, that crap. But I'm thinking in terms of, someplace like St. George, Utah, or someplace like that nobody's ever heard of. St. George, Utah is only about 10,000 people, but they got about 10 golf courses.
So they raise their kids on the golf courses. So, well, that's one of the fringe benefits of the job, though. I mean, you can retire at 50.
Well, I didn't say I was going to retire, but
What would you be in radio stuff?
yeah. No, I don't particularly ever want to retire and just like golf. Hell, when I go on vacation, I get bored after about 6 days. I mean, yeah, it's okay the first couple of days, you play golf all day long, but after 6 days, it's kind of monotonous to me. And I'm not the type of person who just likes to lay out and get a good suntan, like Judy, That's the whole thing for her, is just laying out there by the beach and get a good tan. I can give a shit less about that. I don't mind being out in the sun, but I want to be doing something, not just laying there. So, what I would like to do is go into news.
Oh, yeah? I mean, not like Bob Surratt?
No, I have no interest in that. Bob Surratt's doing frivolous fluff.
Yeah.
I don't. To me, the guy with the ultimate job, as far as I'm concerned, in broadcasting, is Paul Harvey downstairs, where he does like a 15-minute newscast at noon, and he gets to pick what he wants on the air. And I think the guy's got the best delivery of a newsman I've ever heard. And he picks out real interesting stories, and he rewrites them, and I think he does a hell of a job. And that's what I would like to do, is be be at some station where, you know, I could decide what was broadcast and what wasn't, what I felt was interesting to the people.
And that's what you'd like to do in 3.5 years.
Yeah,
And not necessarily that
that's right.
preferably out here. You're pretty attracted back to the West Coast, even though like you were born and raised in Iowa, at least for the first 6 years, right?
Yeah. No, the West Coast, not the West Coast. Idaho is not West Coast. Idaho's in the middle of the sagebrush.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I was born in Iowa and lived there for the first 12 years of my life. But I was born in Quasqueton, Iowa, which is real rural.
yeah. That's what I get.
And I lived for a few years in Ames while my dad was going to college at Iowa State. But Ames isn't very big either. So
You don't feel a homing sense to those places?
no, I liked Idaho better than Iowa.
Your mom's in Idaho, right?
Yeah, both my parents are. And that's really what I consider home. And that's where I went to high school, and that's where I went to college, and that's the place I like. And my folks are there, so to me that's home. Iowa was okay, but you know, nothing that great.
Your parents live in the city out there in Idaho?
Yeah. But you know, the city is
What's the city?
the city is 10,000 people. It's not really much of a city.
I was listening the morning that they did the weather report to your mom
Oh,
in
yeah.
Idaho. The strong winds. I don't have any more questions than I think I'll just use them all up.
Well, I answered them all right. Do I win any prize?
Yeah, I'll give you an autographed copy of this story. I got my publisher's Super Jock book, Ken Bloss,
Yeah.
and we challenged him to run your picture with your fingernails on the cover. This is a good time to do it.
Hey, be my guest. I think that would look great.
Uh-huh. I saw a guy come in this morning. Well, the guy who's you gave him your autograph for his
Yeah.
little kid.
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot? A lot of
Yeah.
people come in here and ask for it.
Well, there's not a lot of people come up to the station simply because a lot of people don't even know where we are. There's people that work in this building probably that don't know that WLS is here. You know, they buy it every day in the elevator. They know we're here. Yeah, but it's odd. You know, we're out eating at Denny's or one of the other lavish restaurants that we eat at. You know, it happens a lot that you know, people come up and
Like when you're walking down the street, you
yeah,
recognize it.
and it's because of those TV commercials. You know, I mean, those things have been, you know, on the air so much that I mean, there was a day when, you know, you could walk down the street and hell, nobody knew who the hell you were, but because of those TV commercials, those days are gone.
Well, kids who got the radio charts, the top 40 charts. I mean, I used to get the Super CFL surveys when I was a kid, and they always had a jock of the weekend or something.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell just by the picture. If you probably wouldn't have recognized me going down the street, but because of those TV commercials, now hell, everybody does. And even people who don't listen to WLS, maybe have never listened to Larry Lujack. You know, you can tell walking down the street, they'll look at you and you know they're thinking, I've seen him somewhere. I can't remember who he is, but I've seen him somewhere. And you get a lot of those kind of looks.
Like I can't think of your name.
You're Rodney Dangerfield. No. I'm the other guy.
You know, I remember a question I was supposed to ask you, and I hate to ask this question. Every time I do an interview, I have to do this. But you're supposed to, this is mandatory. You're supposed to give advice to people who are reading entertainment who want to be disc jockeys.
I am.
The shtick, yeah. Like, do something useful with your life.
Well, actually, that answer isn't far off. I just think that a lot of, you know, I think I talked about this in the book. A lot of people go into this business with, a lot of people out there will look at somebody like Steve Dahl or me or Wally Phillips, and they read for Wally Phillips and making $500,000 a year and so forth. And wow, it's a great business. And they forget that of all the people that go into this business, a very minute percentage of them will ever be as lucky as Wally Phillips or Larry Lujack or Steve Dahl. Most of them, they won't even make it to, the top 3 markets, Chicago, New York, or LA. And radio in Boise and St. George, Utah, and Payette, Idaho don't pay for diddle. And even if you do get lucky, you work your ass off and you get lucky and make it, there's no guarantee as to how long you're going to stay because of those ratings. So I think that most people, if they knew what this business is really all about, wouldn't even consider going into it. Any branch of the entertainment business, particularly when you are in the performing end of it. There's other jobs in radio. There's, our promotion department and our programming department, music department, all these departments. If you want to go into something like that, fine. It's still won't earn as much money, of course. But it's too much of a gamble. And when you're young and single, that doesn't seem like, so what? So you gamble. But then along the way, you pick up a wife and a couple of kids, and all of a sudden it's not fun and games anymore. It's survival time. And the odds are really overwhelmingly against you going into it. When you figure that they're counting AM and FM, I think there are about 8,000 radio stations in this country now. And if you figure average of maybe 6 guys per station, 50,000 guys want to make it to New York, Chicago, or LA. Well, maybe not all of them want to. Maybe some of them are happy in Boise, which is fine. But most of them, if you're in Portland, you want to make it into San Francisco, and then after you make it into San Francisco, you want to make it to LA, and then you want to make it to New York, etc. and so forth. And obviously, there aren't room for 50,000 guys. Most of them won't even come close. So, job security ain't there. It's and just having, like in a lot of career fields, if you really work hard and you show up for work on time every day and you're very conscientious and dedicated, you bust your ass. A lot of career fields, you just won't have any problems. You'll do just fine. It's not like that in this business. You could be all those things, but if for some reason or another you don't luck out enough to cut it in the ratings, doesn't make any difference how nice a guy you are, how hard you have to work. Your ass is going to be out the door. That's what's wrong with it. So, fortunately, none of my kids express any desire whatsoever.
Well, you once said you kicked their head in.
Yeah, I would. But fortunately, I didn't have to do that because after seeing what it was all about, none of them had any desire to go into this. So it's not really
all the glamour is built up.
Something that I would recommend to our nation's young people. There are a lot better things you can do with your life. A lot of ways that you can live happily ever after. A lot better than you can in this business, and I really don't know anybody in this business who's living happily ever after. Most of us are in this business because we got into it by some sort of fluke accident, and now we're at a point where we don't know how to do anything else, or we sure as hell would. That really is the situation with me. If I knew how to do something else where I could make, half decent money, I would do it.
Professional golf? No.
Not quite good enough for that. Not even close. So, then you get trapped. Now I'm doing it not because I particularly want to do it, because I don't know how to do anything else, and it's once those kids come and they need braces and they need this and they need that.
No advice to potential kids.
No.
Just to warn them what it's all like.
And people who refuse to believe that that's the way that it really is, the only advice I would have would be I would certainly recommend getting a college degree with a very strong minor in something else that you like. If you want to major in broadcasting, take a very strong minor in something else that interests you in case broadcasting doesn't pan out the way that you thought it would, because for most of them, that ain't the way it's going to pan out.
Get your greasy little face up next to the radio, because it's time for America's favorite radio program, Animal Stories. And now here in person is the Animal Stories news team anchorman, your charming and delightful old Uncle Lair, and him in person, little Tommy. Hi, Tommy.
Good morning, Uncle Lair. Good morning. Hi, everybody.